As to what?
No, not yet. Not yet.
On drugs, though, didn't they?
Yeah. That's what he's been charged with, which means that it must be in the system. He's been arrested. He hasn't been charged yet, sorry. He's been arrested on suspicion of drug driving, dangerous driving, and attempted murder. There's the 3 charges.
But because he's had drugs and drink, does that mean that he will get off with less time?
Thank you.
That only happens, don't it?
Well, it's not like he's well, I don't know. He's deliberately wanted to set out to unalive anyone, or...
You'll have to wait and see what he gets charged with. That's all he was arrested with. That doesn't mean he's going to get charged with them offences. You just have to wait and see.
Yeah.
That's why they keep on asking for extensions of time, I think.
Well, did they say what drugs he was under?
Say what?
Did they say what drugs?
No, not yet.
Delaying charge could mean it could be he has been demanded not fit for interview.
Yeah, probably about 15 years.
But that's probably because he's still got rugs in his system.
He was left seafarer also.
And because he had 3 businesses, imagine the amount of people that know him as well.
I know, well, it says, where I've read it says that basically all the neighbours are gobsmacked because, like, he's nice to them. He comes over and asks them if they need hands with stuff and that. It's just weird.
Like out of character kind of thing.
Yeah. But you won't know until tomorrow. When people know his name, people will know who he is. Then you get
I wonder, right, that he kind of was driving because he was under the influence of drugs, wasn't he? Kind of got a bit disorientated. Didn't realise that, followed the ambulance, didn't he, behind, and then saw loads of people and panicked and went a bit crazy. But I don't know, because he was drugs as well, wasn't he?
The way I look at it is, regardless of whatever happens, there was 2 pedals there. One was an accelerator and one was a brake, and he pressed the wrong one. He pressed the accelerator. He should have pressed the brake. Didn't need to drive anywhere. Could have just stopped in his exact same spot. There was no reason to carry on going. So regardless of whether he was on drugs or fucking,
when you're on drugs,
stone cold sober.
Yeah, you don't have that same. You're not in control of your mind as you if you're like sober or not on drugs. If he was under drugs, he probably pressed.
No, but to be
reverse instead of accelerate, maybe.
Can I be honest with you? That's not really true, because many people who will take drugs who've been in vehicles, or many people who take drugs and understand the motions of the actual drugs themselves will tell you that you'd know when you were getting in a car whether you were pressing an accelerator or a brake.
Yeah, but MT, I know what you're saying. Number one, it depends what drugs he was on, though, isn't it, as well? Because it could be prescription drugs. Yeah, well, I doubt it, but, you never know. And number 2, you're not sober, is it? You're not like myself or you be on a wheel when you're on drugs, isn't it? Even someone that's stoned is really not in control of that vehicle. I don't care what anyone says, if you're on drugs, you're not in control of no vehicle.
You just have to wait and see what he's saying.
You're not 100% in control.
Me personally, I think he made a choice to need to press the accelerator and not the brake, so I think it was deliberate, and no one will change my mind. I don't care what anyone says.
And do you know the people that opened the...
Do you think when he got in there, though, he panicked and, like you said, went into reverse instead of,
Do you know what? Do you know if it was just on Dale Street, and, if it was just before the town hall, and, it happened there, you could possibly argue that. But to go from Dale Street and drive all the way down to Water Street to drive into people, no, that isn't a valid argument, unfortunately. You'd have to look at the layout of the actual road, Angie. Yeah. He was part way up one road, and had already started to whip people.
And
got onto Water Street and mowed pure people down.
And you know what? It depends what drugs he was on as well, because I know some drugs, especially prescription drugs, and I don't know if when they say drugs in the thing, I don't know if they'd say prescription drugs. I suppose they would. I don't know. They do make you a bit. I've been on some drugs, and it's like whoa.
And the people that opened the barriers for the ambulance, weren't they getting in trouble too? Because surely they shouldn't have let another car through.
Yeah, I think they will, to be honest. But, when I was there, right, so when I very first got there, to get to the Strand, I had to go to the street next to Castle Street. And on that street, there were metal fences. They weren't long metal fences. They were like short metal fences, like to keep people back. And that's what they were moving to get the people in and out. And so obviously they must have been the same barriers, which was on Water Street directly. So that must have been what they moved to let the ambulance through, and that's where he'd gone behind. So I don't know why they didn't see him, because they would see him. They'd see him tailgating behind the ambulance.
I'd like to know also where he was going to, you know what I mean? Why he went down that road, you know what I mean? Because
And
it's not people. He would have seen a lot of people, though.
Shut up, you dickhead.
What I'm saying is he would have seen a lot of people down that road. Why would he follow the ambulance, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Unless it was because he was on drugs, probably out of his bloody head.
No one knows, do we? We won't know until obviously they charge him, and then we get to know what he's being charged with and what they've looked at. Drug-induced psychosis. So, yeah, maybe. But that's just shocking. That is, you don't expect it from someone so, a business, family man, got children, his whole life finished. It's not even that, it's his wife and kids, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's their life that gets turned upside down because of it.
Did they say what business he had?
No.
Probably won't get that out. But the person who's bust don't turn up.
I mean, I'm not being horrible. I suppose I am being horrible. I don't think I'd really care about his family, do you know what I mean? To be fair.
Before it happens, why were people attacking his car? I think people were attacking his car because he was driving down a street where there was millions of people trying to leave. 1 million people, sorry. I think that's why they were attacking his car. There was no reason for him to be on Dale Street at all. There was many exits that he could have turned down before he got to where he actually got to.
Can I reply to that comment why it's not his family's fault? What I mean by that, right, is I just can only imagine if that was my family, right, that happened to. I'm not saying it's their fault, absolutely not. They've done nothing wrong, yeah. But what I'm saying is I wouldn't be myself, if that was my family there, I wouldn't be really thinking of, his family, because his family will probably be supporting him, yeah. So that's why, and if they're gonna be supporting him, why would I be thinking his family? That's what I mean.
They will support him, but I don't.
I mean, yeah. I knew what you're saying there. Well, I mean, listen, of course his family's going to support him. The pushchair was under. Oh my, I'm just so glad no one actually,
It was 15 feet away. That's true.
I'm actually shocked his family are innocent. Oh, Cockapoo's Martha, how many times? I've just said this. His family going to support him. Okay, yes, we could say rightly, of course they would, because probably anybody would. Yeah? But I'm not going to be, I know they're innocent, they haven't done anything wrong, absolutely not. But I personally, if that was my family, wouldn't be able to support someone that's going to support that man. If something happened to my niece or my dad, I'm not thinking, oh, his poor family. No, I'm thinking, oh my God, you're disgusting because you're supporting this man. That's how I would feel. It's not his kids' fault. I mean, they're kids, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, his family's been affected as well, of course.
You're saying it from a point of view of a person that has been in the accident.
Yeah.
Been at the scene. You're like, if it was me and I'd been at that scene, I wouldn't care about what the family's thoughts were.
No, because the thing is, that family's going to be supporting the man that hurt your family. Looking at Lorna. Oh yeah, I was going to say something else actually. I was going to ask you a question, M2, and I forgot. What was I going to say? I forgot what I was going to ask you now. I read something.
Oh my God, is that my mic?
Yeah, you've got some mad squeaky thing going on. Hello.
Hi, Lorna.
Evening, everyone. I'm just thinking, are they going to lose? Well, I don't know. Do you think it could be like a mental health breakdown? This business could be failing, and he
Those
just
are things, yeah.
was just
But regardless, he was on drugs. That's reckless driving.
100%.
And I think they'll need to prove also, is a really good question here, whether, them proving whether the drugs that made him do what he did or something else.
Yeah, I'm not using it as an excuse. No excuse. You know what I mean? He was in control of what he was doing.
Or a mixture of things. Because if it was the drugs, then he'd probably he would have more serious time in jail. But if they say no, it's not, then he probably won't get, and it's something else. You know what I mean?
Do you know what's even worse? If he was on drugs and drink, that means that, well, it don't mean that, but was he there celebrating with them as well, and then they do that at the end? That's sick, that is.
When I say prove it, I mean if there's no other factors. Sorry.
Do you know what? I seen a video of a fella getting out the car first. So I don't know whether he dropped someone off, because there's a fella who gets out the car with a flag on his back, and he gets out on Dale Street. And then you see a video of him outside the Betty, which is a little bit further up. And if he turns left there, the Slug and Lettuce is on the corner. But he doesn't. He carries on driving. And then he goes past the town hall on the right. And there's another restaurant on the left. And then he goes into Water Street. So there was plenty of places he could have stopped.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I didn't get.
He was in control of everything. He knew what he was doing. But where they've taken so long for him to be charged, I'm thinking, are they going down the route? Is he having a mental?
Do you think he could have panicked at the amount of people?
But if you panic at the amount of people, you're not going to press the accelerator and drive straight at them, are you?
That's true, no.
If I can describe it to you, think of a street in London rammed with people, like people everywhere, with no gap. Just people walking towards you, and you being in a car and being visible to them people and being able to see all them people and driving your car at them. That's exactly what happened.
Yeah, it's probably in some kind of drug-induced bloody, I don't know.
Yeah, psychosis, a drugs-induced psychosis.
Maybe, yeah.
But yeah, there's no excuse. He knew what he was doing. They need to throw the book at him.
That's not anyone else's, do you know what I mean? No, absolutely not. Anyway, it's speculating in that we don't really know, but... How fast did he drive? I don't know. That's crazy. Hit the brakes, yeah. It's funny, isn't it? Had us probably a whole life now gone.
Definitely, 100%.
Well, it sounds like he's worked hard on his life.
The family life and all that.
Worked hard all his life, got to probably where he wanted to get to, and now he's going to go and have a live in jail.
Probably never been arrested in his life, and then next one, boom, it's going to hit him.
But it's also, he was going at that speed, but no matter how much speed he was going, he weren't stopping, was he?
Do you know what's going to be mad as well? There's going to be loads of people who actually know this fella. If he runs businesses and he's well known in the area that he lives in, there's going to be loads of people who actually know him on a personal level.
That's family.
And if he wasn't what they call it, juice as drug thingy, psychosis, or you get time for that, man.
See tomorrow's 96 hours, I think.
They're giving him more time to question him. Probably want to get it right, innit?
Oh, why don't we jump on?
He's from Liverpool, wasn't he, MT?
Yes, from West Derby.
Do you know what he looks like?
No. Only the photo that people have put on here and have put on the other socials. But what's mad is loads of people have been getting blamed. So people who aren't who wasn't even at the parade and that, their posts and their photos have been put up and people have been blaming the wrong people. So they need to hurry up and say who it is.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, because all they've got, moment is just that image, so they're just speculating people that are
Yeah.
around look like that now.
I thought he was from Liverpool. He is from Liverpool. He's from West Derby. That is in Liverpool. It's like a town. Like in your city, you just must have like little towns, which is like different parts of the city. He's from West Derby. That's a town, which is within the city.
I wonder where he was going, and you know what I mean, to go down that road full of people. That's the question. Where was he bloody going?
MT would know. Would that be on his way home? Look, if he was to be going home, would that be on his way home? Or
No, it's in the complete wrong direction. It's towards the Albert Dock, which is the water. So, and every single person in the whole of the city knew that the parade was off the docks, was at the Strand. It's where it always is.
But yet he would go down a road full of people. Doesn't make sense, does it really?
It doesn't, no.
Do you think he wanted to unalive or something?
Fuck knows. We won't know till tomorrow. And that depends what we get told, innit? We'll only get told what they want us to hear. But me personally, and I stand on business when I say this, there was two options: press the accelerator or the brake, and he pressed the accelerator. He shouldn't have, so I think it was deliberate. I think he's a rat. I haven't got no sympathy, not a sympathetic bone in my body at all. Couldn't give a fuck what excuse you told me. I really couldn't. I've got no sympathy for them, man.
I mean, his judgment might be different if he wasn't on drugs. But then I don't know, like you said, it could have been deliberate, who knows?
I don't give a fuck.
He made that choice to take drugs, and I know what you're saying about the drugs, but we don't know what drugs he was on, do you know what I mean?
I couldn't give a fuck if he was on smack, crack, heroin, cocaine, ketamine, whatever you want to throw up his nose. I really couldn't give a fuck. It doesn't mean he gets to jump in a car and drive that car at people because he's in a bad place or wants to do something to himself.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It was his choice. Do you know what I mean? No one else's choice.
It is his choice. He lives with the consequences now, doesn't he? For the rest of his life.
Yeah.
Do you know what pissed me off even more? That more people never got to the car to get him. I was absolutely buzzing when I seen everyone run over to the car and smashed it in. I was. I'm not going to sit there and lie and say I wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was.
I can't believe they was able to put him into a wagon instead of ambulance. Because I thought once they all got him, I thought that's it, now he's gone. He's going to need them out around here. And he never got walked into the police.
And do you know what was mad as well? You know, the way the busy said that there was busies everywhere and they had all these contingency plans. When I was in the crowd, I didn't see one busy. There was busies on the road which lined like where the bus was going to go. And there was busies at the top where you first come in. But there was no police where I was standing. I mean, and where I was standing, it was back to back with people. But there was like an alleyway behind me and there was loads. The only time we seen police was when there was lads on scaff and they were getting told to get down. And the police turned up to try and get them down. That was it. I didn't see any other busies.
They all looked scared when we was putting him into the van. Took that one man to the curb. All his face was the yellow road there. I thought, oh my God. And then the way that they just handed him into the thing and protected that van. I would have just like,
There was people in like, I think it was, I don't want to say G4S, but I don't think it was G4S. They were in like blue tops with like yellow stripes. And they were there and there was loads of St. John Ambulance people. I remember that. There was loads of like St. John Ambulance fans everywhere you looked and like volunteers from there who were all standing on the corner and that. But I didn't really see that many busies. I seen them once and that was when I said earlier on, they closed the metal things where I was trying to get into the parade when I got there. So I had to go down the side alley, which is between Castle Street and Water Street. There's like a little alley that runs down. So I went down there with a few people and managed to get in. Otherwise I wouldn't have been able to see it at town.
yeah.
Do you think they're empty, you know, like the police was in Liverpool as well? Do you think they did it, you know? Obviously they have to act in a different way, don't they? The police.
I can't hear you. Say that again.
I said obviously the police can't show any aggression, right? I wonder if they're in their head though. They think, yes, I'm glad people have done that. You know, grabs him out the car, and obviously they have to act a certain way. The police, innit?
They have to act professional, but if they were Scousers, they think the same as everyone else does. Because I can't really find well, I mean, I beg to differ. I can probably name 2 people here now, but apart from that, I can't find any of the Scousers who thought that anything that happened on Monday was right.
Do you think the security should be tighter?
Well, yeah, because I was car allowed to tailgate an ambulance. It wasn't a paramedic. It didn't have no identifying features. It didn't have no blues and twos. He wasn't wearing an eye-vis. There was nothing there that you could mark him as part of the emergency services.
Exactly.
I tell you what, if that was the Prime Minister and the Prime Minister was sitting at the bottom of Water Street, do you think they'd let a car tailgate behind an ambulance to get through? Of course they fucking wouldn't. They would have took that car out before it even got in the way past
you know,
it.
when he went through down that road, right, where the ambulance went, are they like someone mentioned gates?
No, it wasn't gates. It was like, as I said, remember crowd control? And you'd have like them crowd control barriers in the metal. They're like a metal fence.
Someone that sits there and works it.
Yeah, so there was a man who was there by that fence who was moving the fence forwards and back. So it was fenced off as you walked in. So it was like, people who were there will tell you, it was like a barrier. It was metal, and they just moved it. It wasn't secure or in place or anything like that. So they must have moved it when the ambulance come to let them through. And as the ambulances come through, the cars come through behind it. That's what they're saying.
Do you think, you know, I mean, obviously he didn't do it deliberately, you know what I mean? He didn't, probably wasn't looking, concentrating, God knows, I don't know. But do you think, I mean, he wouldn't get sentenced, would he?
He won't get sentenced. Who?
The guy that was controlling the barriers.
Well, it depends, isn't it? Because you have to look at, well, why did the barrier get moved? It was because the ambulance he tailgated. Was there any measures in place to stop him from tailgating? If there wasn't, then the company's at fault, aren't they? The individual will get prosecuted by the company.
Do you know who was tailgating the ambulance? Where was the ambulance when it went into the people? Because I didn't.
You see it stopped. If you look at the video, so as you see him driving, you see the ambulance in the background.
Oh.
Can I just say, because someone just said a couple of, they've seen the video, there's no ambulance, but I'm just saying, I've read it, he followed the ambulance.
There was an ambulance. You see the ambulance on Dale Street. You see the ambulance driving, you see him driving, he keeps on driving behind it. And then you see there's a paramedic who's going through to get to, there's a fella who's supposedly having a heart attack. And that's when it happens. But go on Sky News, Angie. I tell you what, while you're sitting there now, you've got another device, haven't you? Go on Sky News and go on to where it says stories and click on the Liverpool story and watch the latest CCTV footage.
Latest CCTV footage?
Watch that now, while you're sitting there not doing nothing.
I don't know where my phone is.
Ziana, you do the same. Go on Sky News. Go and look at the latest CCTV footage.
Okay. Okay. What is your?
Is it on the Echo as well?
Why do I type in just Sky News Liverpool?
No, just Sky News. Go on live stories.
Come on. So, live stories.
Yeah, it'll be there somewhere.
It says watch live. That's not it.
No. Look at the stories. I was 3 minutes ahead. I'd already walked past it. I was by the law courts.
Please give more time to question Liverpool. Okay, that's all I've got.
There'll be CCTV footage on there. Read that story. On there, there'll be the footage. Go and watch it.
Yeah. Oh, there is. I forgot footage. I'll play it. I don't want to. Oh, leave it on.
Play it. You telling me that went deliberate?
Oh, I was looking for that ambulance. I thought it was that bit. hard to see it, you know, because let me just rewind it. I'll wind it.
Do you want me to send you the ambulance one now?
Yeah, it's hard to see. It's just because my blood.
I'll send it to you now on WhatsApp. Hold on.
Another day.
Can't find what he means either. The one that I can find is just a shopkeeper.
Yeah, I found it. It's just really small for my bloody eyes. How do you know you're in the box? Hello, Alison.
She was getting a meat ready for tomorrow or something. That's a bit weird though, at 20 to 12 on night time, Ange. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, AJ.
Nicole, they would have snipers on the roof because at that point they didn't know what was going on. And it could have been anything going on. I'm just waiting for MMT to come back. Now it's this video we've got. I know I've got messages, guys. I have to read them tomorrow because my eyes are tired. Is MMT going to come back or not?
20 to 12.
My eyes are tired. Definitely going to have an early night. I should take this light off and that was my charger to my other phone. Put it like this.
Yeah.
It's on.
Get cozy.
Where should I put it though, the torch?
On top of your bed there.
You got to be joking, Ziana. Spiders like the light. So if I put the torchlight on my bed, where's the spider going to crawl? On my bed.
Put it over on your table then.
Yeah. But then if I put it there, the spider's going to crawl on the bed over here to that light. So it's probably wrong area to put it in.
Table down the bottom.
On the shelf. Because this will be high up. For the little bugger these spiders. Yeah. I want to leave it there. I don't know, is MT or is this MT? No. I'm going to go to bed now, guys. I don't know if MT's coming back. Can't keep my eyes open, you know.
Get a rest ready for tomorrow. What time are you coming on tomorrow, Ange?
I might have a lay-in tomorrow.
How are you?
Well, it depends when I get up, innit?
Yeah.
Right. Night, Sayana.
Good night.
Night, everybody, and see you in the morning. Night.